Welcome to part 3 of my DIY summer top sewing series. Today we're making this beautiful cowl neck crop top. Take your bust to waist measurement diagonally across your body, then determine the width of your desired cowl neck using your measuring tape. Then you want to measure from the center front of your body down to your desired length. Add 1 inch to each of those measurements and then we can draft our top. Draw a horizontal line that is the width of your desired cowl neck. From both of those ends, I want you to go down from your bust to waist measurement. And then from the center of your first line, I want you to go down your desired length. Then you just want to complete your shape by connecting those lines, and then it should look something like this. The most important part of this pattern piece is you want to cut it out on the bias. So usually we cut our patterns out on the straight grain, which is parallel to the selvage edge, but this pattern is meant to be cut on the bias so that that cowl neck can drape really beautifully. So the bias is just the 45-degree angle from the grain line. So just make sure that you cut your pattern piece out on the bias, and you also want to cut it out on the fold, or you can just mirror your pattern piece like I did here. Also want to cut 4 straps on the straight grain that are 2 inches by 24 inches long. Fold those straps with right sides together and sew along the entire length using 1/2 inch seam allowance. When you finish sewing, just trim off that seam allowance to about 1/8 inch, making sure not to cut through your stitches. Then you can use a safety pin or your bodkin to turn your straps with the right sides facing out, and then just give that a good press at your iron. You want to sandwich your straps inside of your fabric at the top and bottom, just like you see me doing here. So one end of each of your 4 straps is clipped at the 4 corners of your fabric, sandwiched inside. And then you just want to clip around the borders of your fabric, making sure to leave a 2-inch opening. This opening is very important because this is what's going to allow us to turn our fabric with the right sides facing out. Sew around your edges with 1/2 inch seam allowance and make sure to leave that 2-inch opening. When you're done sewing, just trim your seam allowance down to about 1/8 inch and then turn your top with the right sides facing out through that 2-inch opening that we left. Give your top a good press at your iron, and then you just want to slip stitch or top stitch that 2-inch opening closed, and you're all done with your DIY cowl neck top. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to hit follow and come back to my page for more fun DIY tutorials. See you next time. Bye!